my darlings, welcome to a new vlog and happy new year. The first vlog of 2024. As I'm filming this, I'm still in 2023, but welcome back to the channel after a teeny weeny little break, just a tiny one. But thank you so much for joining me for a new year video. I'm still very much in that Twixmas slumber. As I'm filming this, we are just kind of emerging from the Christmas mayhem. We are starting to think about our New Year's Eve party. Yes, Charlie and I hosted Christmas and we are also hosting New Year's this year. I'm not sure that we'll do the double whammy again because it's a lot, but of course I wanted to share our New Year's celebrations with you. But we've actually got a couple of days until that all kicks off. Because of all the prep for Christmas, we've not really thought that much about New Year's other than the fact that we're not going to be cooking. We're going to do probably like grazing board style food, and we have asked a few of our guests to bring a board or bring a certain canapé that they're very good at, so taking the pressure off a little bit. But we will again have every bedroom in the house being used, so lots of house chores are being done at the moment. So today's video, as well as our New Year's Eve celebrations, is going to be kind of setting my intentions for next year. This time of year when it's that in between, it's a really good time, I feel, to sit back and take stock of what worked well last year, what you would like, what kind of habits you would like to take moving forward into the next year. So I thought I would share a few of my 2024 intentions with you and let you know what you can expect here on the channel over the next year, which is really exciting. I feel like after Vlogmas, after the little break, it does take me, I feel like January is like a warm-up month. It takes me a little while to get into the swing. Sorry, I have got makeup brushes. I cleaned them and they're just sticking to my face, so I apologise for strange actions. Lost my train of thought now. I feel like I do very similar videos each year at this time of year. I think I find it really interesting to hear what other people's intentions are for the year, and I use the word intentions as opposed to New Year's resolutions because it's a little bit softer. It's a little bit less strict, and it's just more of an idea to put forward than a rule that you must live by, because I'm just not very good at sticking to any specific rules or anything like that. I know over the last year, over 2023, and peppered into Vlogmas, I did chat a little bit more about more of my kind of nutrition and fitness opinions, let's say. And I think if you would like to hear a little bit more about that and maybe hear about some of the resources that I love, like books and podcasts, please let me know, because I might do a whole video on that as my next video. As I mentioned at the end of Vlogmas, I think we'll maybe do just one video a week throughout January, at least until Charlie and I get back from our honeymoon. But if there are more, then that's a bonus. But for now, I think we will say either Thursdays or Sundays. So just do make sure you're subscribed if you don't want to miss the videos in January. And then I promise you, once we're back, it'll go back to the 3 videos a week. So if you are new to the channel from Vlogmas, I normally do 3 videos a week, and they go up at 5 PM UK time on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. Anyway, I don't want to be too rambly today. We are heading out on a dog walk very soon. So I thought let's kick off with a few of my intentions for 2024. And I haven't done a vision board this year. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that while we are away, because it's quite a nice thing to do when you are in a very relaxed state of mind. But I've just got a note on my phone, 2024 intentions. Maybe I'll do like a funky graphic and I'll have it as my background to remind myself. At the moment it's just a pinned note, so I do see it every time I go on my notes. Okay, the first one I am pleased to report I have checked off for today. I also don't really believe in waiting until January the 1st to start on your New Year's intentions. Same as last year. I think on the 27th last year was the day that I just really got kick-started with it all. And my first one is Pilates or movement every day. And this I think I've been pretty good at throughout 2023. I have finally, everyone kept saying it's like when you find an exercise you enjoy, then it's so much easier to stick to, and I was like, yeah, there's no such thing as an enjoyable exercise. But over the last 18 months, really finding reformer Pilates for me has been just something that I have really enjoyed doing, enjoying the social side of it, enjoying just having that block of time that is me time, and because I've enjoyed it so much, I was really able to stick to it. But with a realistically busy schedule, 3 days a week is a luxury, but I certainly can't do any more. But I feel so good after it. I wanted one of my intentions this year to be ensuring that I just move my body every day. So I will be doing Chloe's online Pilates, and as a reminder, she's very kindly offered a month's free trial, maybe even longer. I'll leave the details for that link down below so you can get an exercise band and join in her classes. There are loads on her website, and you can do a 10-minute class, you can do a 20-minute class, as much time as you've got. And I think that just getting into the habits are so important, of just having a little bit of time for movement, for stretch in the morning really has so many benefits, both mentally and physically. But it's that habit, it's doing it every day. I remember I was so impressed when we went to Em's birthday that Emily was so good. She was like, if I don't do it today, then it breaks the habit, and she was so good at doing her barre every morning. I was like, that is the level of motivation that I aspire to. So Pilates every day. Today we actually had a personal training session here at the gym at home, so I've done my movement for today, and then we're going to head out on a dog walk. So ticked that one off, which is great. So the next thing that I've written down is a list of things, kind of wellness things, and I want to treat myself to 3 of these things per day, which sounds like a lot, but listen to what they are. So 3 of these per day out of breath work, and this is something that I keep hearing in wellness podcasts, how important it is essentially to learn how to breathe properly. It's very important. I've got the book Breathe. I'll leave a photo of it on the screen here and leave a link down below that I'm going to read when we're away. But yeah, I keep hearing about the benefits of it, both, again, mentally and physically. So that's number 1. Number 2 is grounding. It's harder in the cold months because nobody wants to be walking outside barefoot in the cold, miserable weather. But this sounds a little bit loopy. You can just like touch nature. Think about it. Especially if you live in the city, when was the last time you actually connected to the earth? Like connected, did you go outside barefoot? Did you touch a tree? Did you touch a plant? When was the last time? Because we're always wearing shoes, we're always in houses that have got floors, concrete, we're walking on concrete, we're walking on stone, and we've lost that connection to the earth. And yes, I can get a little bit airy-fairy with some of these things that I get fascinated by, but I think there is something in it that the earth has got a charge, and it brings down our stress levels, and I really feel it. I love it. I love how I feel when I go out barefoot in the morning, normally when the dogs are doing their morning ablutions, and it really does calm you down and sets you up really well for the day. So I definitely want to get into the habit of doing, that's an easy one, every morning with my coffee, slippers off, dogs are outside, stand outside on the lawn just for a few minutes, and yeah, it just helps you to feel calm as you start the day. So that's number 2. Number 3, I've written time restricted eating. Now, I'm not into diets. I'm not into restricting what I eat because I love food, but what I can do is extend the period between my last meal at night and my first meal in the day. And that again is really good for the mind and the body. It's very good for resetting your gut, and it enables you to really get the most out of the food that you do eat. It's really good for you, and it's great if you enjoy food and you don't want to cut anything out of your diet, but you recognize that maybe you want to make a few healthy changes. Then some people call it fasting. I think that's maybe too harsh a word. And even the word restricted, basically prolonging the time that I don't eat in the evenings to the morning. Once again, I will leave a few podcast recommendations down below that talk about these in more detail, because obviously I'm not a nutritionist or an expert specifically in these fields, but they are things that I have done a little bit of in the past and have made me feel really good. So that's something again I want to try to stick to every day. Number 3 is, nope, that was number 3. Number 4 within this 3 per day is stretching. Every morning I watch Dexter and Dickens do their big morning stretch, and I copy them when they do it, and just limbering up the muscles. Again, it just makes you feel really, really good. Red light is something that I love to do, and I notice huge benefits in my skin. I notice the glow. I notice that if I do get any blemishes, they heal a lot better. I've spoken a lot in the past about how red light is great for the skin. Very long story short, red light essentially tricks your skin cells into thinking that they are damaged when they're not, so your cells go into repair mode, and it's fantastic for anti-aging. I have got this little device which is truly wonderful. If the Beauty Pie one is back in stock, I will be sharing when it does come back in stock on my Instagram stories, so do keep an eye on that. But these little red light masks are incredible, and the fact that it's battery operated means you can just pop this in your pocket, carry on going out about your daily business. I think that one lasts for 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll do a double whammy, normally just before bed before I put on my night cream, so I want to get into the habit of doing that more regularly. I've also written microcurrent. At the moment I probably do microcurrent facials on myself maybe once a month. I'd like to get into the habit of doing that more regularly. And I've also written facial massage, so whether that's using a rose quartz stone or that little rolly thing, just want to make that more of a routine. So if I do 3 of those things a day, then I feel like I would have made time for some really great wellness habits. My next intention for 2024 is to have a non-monetized hobby, which may sound really obvious, but actually it's really hard now that I think about it in this line of work, because obviously I share nearly everything that I do with you guys on YouTube, and therefore I'm monetizing it because this is my job. YouTube, creating the content is my job. So technically whatever I do, if I share it with you, I am monetizing it, because instantly I thought, well, obviously Josie, you love gardening and you're not monetizing that. But then if I put something on Instagram or on YouTube, technically I'm monetizing it. So actually this is really, really hard, and I do already have my hobby of gardening. But what I've written down here for my 2024 hobby is flower pressing. It was actually a really lovely gift from my mum for my birthday, a really gorgeous, like, proper flower press. And I'm sure a lot of you know, especially if you've watched my videos throughout an entire year, you'll know that I just love the garden, I love gardening, I love flowers, and I hate waste. I hate seeing flowers go over. I hate not making the most of something. So the idea that I can take a beautiful bloom and press it and it will last forever, I just absolutely love that. And maybe I can turn them into little bits of artwork and gift them to friends. It just sounds very wholesome, and it's something that that I'd love to do. So a non-monetizable hobby. I will not be selling my pressed flowers, because I think there's something nice about doing something for the pure joy of it and not because you're going to monetize it. Next, I've written, should I do a few of these after lunch, because I feel like this has been quite a lot of chat, hasn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna just put a little asterisk on my list here, and I'm going to go through the rest of them after our dog walk and after lunch. I'm getting a little bit peckish. It is 11:13 and I've not yet eaten anything today because I'm doing TRE, although I have had an oat milk coffee, which does break the fast, so technically I've not ticked that box today. But anyway, as I said, not about restriction, more about doing what feels right. But yeah, I'm gonna go and get moving. The sun is shining, kind of. It's still that miserable December winter sunlight, but yeah, gonna go out, get some fresh air, and I'll fill you in on my other intentions this afternoon. Ordinarily make my matcha after my lunch as a little bit of a post-lunch pick-me-up, but I just can't wait today. I feel like I need it to get me going, and this is going to be at least 35 minutes until this is ready, because I'm doing Allplants in the oven today. I'm treating myself. The matcha that I've used today is the Ancient and Brave Matcha and Collagen, which is in my top 3. I love this one, I love the Dalesford one, and I love the Cloud Char matcha. Yeah, oh, I didn't actually realise this has got lion's mane mushroom in it too. Wonderful. So Charlie and I were discussing earlier a few of the ways that we want to stick with our, not exactly New Year's resolutions, but the things that we want to maintain consistent with this year. As you can tell, I'm going to be talking about my Allplants love, and this really links into sticking with our intention of eating whole foods and not ultra processed foods this year. That's really, really important to both of us, as it was really throughout 2023, but I think the more we read, the more information we consume, and the more we notice how much better we feel when we cut ultra processed foods out of our diet, the more we realize that it's a really, really big priority for us. But what we were talking about is the things that make you fall off your routine, or that make you get sidetracked from your resolutions. And for me, speaking honestly, the main thing that makes me either give up on or get tempted to wander from my resolutions is time. Quite frankly, if I'm too busy in the mornings, if I feel like I've got too much work on, then I won't make the time to do my Pilates. So for me this year, the solution is do a shorter Pilates class. I don't have to always go to the gym to do a reformer. I can squeeze in a 20-minute class. And then when it comes to eating well, yes, sometimes I do want to spend hours in the evening in the kitchen, like lovingly preparing something from scratch, but sometimes time is just not on my side, and it means that I'm just more tempted to get something that's potentially not as nutritionally good for me, which is why this year Charlie and I will continue to be huge lovers and consumers of Allplants. Allplants I have spoken about to you many a time before, but this feels like a really good time to mention them again. It's early January. A lot of us might be thinking about doing Veganuary. I personally am not doing Veganuary just because I'm really not good at any form of restriction. We have over the last year cut down our meat consumption a lot. I do drink non-cow's milk more of the time, but to be honest with me, that's more of a flavour preference. But if you are doing Veganuary, if you are vegan, if you're vegetarian, these meals are an absolute game changer. So they're all chef prepared meals. There's actually a proper kitchen, I think it's in North London, where professional amazing chefs prepare these meals, and then they are flash frozen. And that's actually really important because it does seem too good to be true. It really does, because a lot of the time food which is food from your freezer might have a lot of like preservatives and things in it, and that's why it's able to last so long. Allplants, there is nothing nasty in these, and you guys know what Charlie and I like with our ingredients, and how aware of that we are. So the fact that this is flash frozen means that they don't need to use preservatives, and the food is flash frozen as soon as it's been prepared, so all of the goodness is locked in and only released when you cook it, either in your oven, in your aga, or in your microwave. The meals as well, if your New Year's intentions are to eat a lot more of a more varied diet with a lot more kind of whole foods in it, these are quite literally packed with whole foods. You get so much protein, so much iron, at least 2 of your 5 a day within these meals, and it will tell you other benefits as well, like high in vitamin C, low in fat. And if you just read the ingredients, which I would recommend doing for everything that you consume, read the ingredients. Some things might really shock you. For example, a couple of weeks ago, Charlie and I were on a road trip, and we tried to find some healthy snacks in a petrol station. I shall not name and shame the supermarket that was attached to this petrol station, but basically I thought, what can be so bad about a bag of wasabi peas, thinking that the ingredients would surely be wasabi peas. Well, let me tell you, There were no wasabi peas in my bag of wasabi peas. When I read the ingredients, I could not believe it. This was literally labelled as a bag of wasabi peas. The ingredients was like horseradish flavoured starch. In fact, I'm going to go on the website and I'm going to put on the screen here the ingredients that were in my wasabi peas. Now that is just not good for you. But anyway, that is a negative example. This is a good example because the ingredients within Allplants meals, literally all things I'd find in my kitchen. So you've got white onion, savoy cabbage, edamame, carrot, green pepper, cooking rice wine, onion, soybean, rice, garlic, rice wine vinegar. Okay, I wouldn't actually have gochujang syrup in my personal kitchen. And let's face it, if I was to make my own firecracker udon noodles, it would take me at least half an hour on a good day with a very strong matcha to power me up. But with these meals, you literally pop them in the oven for sometimes around 30 minutes, normally around 40 to 45 minutes, or in the microwave for 5 to 7 minutes, I think most of them are. Yeah, this one's 7 minutes. And you get vegan, plant-based, nutritionally complete, chef-prepared, super delicious meals. And you basically do not have to lift a finger. So if you feel that maybe once your routine starts to get back into being super busy and you have been spending, oh, Alexa, timer off. If you have spent this first week of January getting yourself into some really good habits and you want to really stick with them, then I would so highly recommend just having a box of Allplants in your freezer, because yes, some evenings you just are exhausted, especially this time of year when it's so dark and gloomy all the time. But just because you're having an easy dinner doesn't mean that you are letting go of your priorities of having really good quality, healthy, plant-based food. So yeah, I would so highly recommend. I do have a wonderful discount to share with you. Let me make sure I get it correct. If you have not tried Allplants before, then I'll leave a link down below, and Josie25X3 catchy will get you 25% off your first 3 orders within your subscription. So make the most of that. It would be a really great way of getting you through if you are doing veganuary, if you did just need to have a few wonderful things in the freezer that you can rely on for when you just can't bother to cook. As I've said before, Charlie and I do not live in an area where we can get food delivered to us. Like, we don't have any food delivery services, not even takeaway pizza. So for us, it's just a load off our mind to have these available whenever we can't be bothered to cook, and knowing that they're good for us. Anyway, that noise was my Alexa telling me that the food is ready, because I did pop these in the Aga for Charlie and I a few moments ago. So let me show you what we're having for lunch today. Yum! I'll just leave them to cool for a few seconds. But what we are having for our lunch today, I am in the mood for pasta. I just need an energy boost, so I've gone for the creamy rigatoni with the plant-based nduja. And then Charlie was feeling like something a little bit more, well, I was going to say more flavoursome, but actually I think mine's going to be just as flavoursome. Tikka masala with marinated tofu. That looks absolutely scrumptious. And then I did also order a few of my regular favourites. I love to get the smoothie pouches as well. Great for your breakfast smoothie. These are my favourites, firecracker udon noodles. And then I've got a protein bowl. Look at how much goodness is in that. Absolutely delicious. And of course, I cannot resist a mac and greens creamy sauce. Yum, yum, yum. Right, I'm going to plate up and then it's time to enjoy. And our lunch is served. Whoops, I have spilled a little bit of my nduja creamy pasta sauce on the side there. They both smell and look absolutely sensational. I'm never going to get any awards for plating food up quite as beautifully as you see on the gram, but this really does smell and look like the kind of thing that the pasta queen would do on Instagram. What did she say? Just gorgeous, silky smooth, just like you are. It's like a gorgeous creamy nduja, plant-based nduja sauce, and then we got the veggies in there as well. Yum. And rigatoni is my favorite. And then Charlie has got this really lovely creamy tofu tikka masala, which looks absolutely scrumptious. So here are our luncheons. I can't wait to dig in, and I shall report back afterwards. After a delicious lunch, I am now starting to think about dishes for on New Year's Eve. And as always, what Charlie and I like to do is just make a note of all the different dishes
write them on a bit of paper. Don't worry, our guests will not see these bits of paper, and just place these on the serving trays that we're going to be using. So I've started to lay the table. And as you can imagine, we're pretty much doing a very similar setup to Christmas. Nothing too fancy. New Year's is going to be just kind of come in here and grab some nibbles when you are hungry. I've got a few plates out. I think we are 13 is the final number. If we were at the Savoy, we would have a black cat at the table because they believe that 13 guests for dinner is unlucky. But it's not really dinner, it's canapes. So I've got a few little plates out, and I'm just going to place these on the board so that we know we've got enough things out. Okay, crostini, they're quite big, but I think they'll look really nice on something like this. Gruyere dates, yum. They're quite small, so we can pop them on the little hydrangea leaf. George and Petra's pea and ham, that is going to be so delicious. They can go down there. Puff pastry leek bites. You can go over there. Luckily, we have got a whole brie left over from Christmas, so I'm going to make a delicious walnut and cranberry mix to go on top. Seed crackers can go in here, and I'll pop some jars, not jars, little containers of hummus next to that. Ooh, we've got a big pork pie that's going to need to go on a board. Pigs in blankets, again, that we didn't manage to get through at Christmas, they can go in there. Bellinis, they need to go on something flat. See why this is quite useful. You just realise how much food you've got and what crockery you need to serve it. Okay, I think we need a few more big boards and then we are ready.
Good morning, my darlings. It is the 31st of December today. It is New Year's Eve, the last day of 2023. I apologise for the abrupt end to the vlog yesterday. I am out of practice. It's very funny how quickly you get out of sync of capturing everything, but you did not miss very much at all. So yeah, today is New Year's Eve, which means it's our party tonight. We've got, I think, 13 guests coming over tonight. Not everyone is sleeping over, so we don't have a full house afterwards, but it's going to be a really lovely evening. You might be able to see a very sparkly number behind. That's just arrived yesterday from Needle and Thread. I haven't tried it on yet, but I'm hoping it'll be, I'm sure it'll be fabulous and the perfect dress for tonight. This morning I've had a quick body shower, which basically means haven't washed my hair yet, and I have put on a little bit of fake tan, not too much, but I've just popped on a bit of the Bondi Sands dark tan, so hopefully that will marinate over the next couple of hours while I do food prep, and then I'll wash my hair at like 3 or 4ish. Guests are not arriving until 7:30. So we're doing, as I think I mentioned, like a nibbly table, and most of the things, pretty much everything, I can prepare in advance. So there's no cooking tonight, which is great, and everyone can just, because New Year's Eve, it's a long evening, so it's quite nice to have like a nibbly table, so when people get peckish, they can just go up and help themselves. George and Petra are bringing their little pea canapes, which is so delicious, just so fresh, having like the zingy freshness of the peas. And we've got quite a few bits from Christmas that we didn't even open, like beautiful big pork pies and ham slices and yeah, yummy things. And then I'm going to make up a few date bits later, so we'll go downstairs and do that in a second. We wanted to go out for a dog walk, but it just started pouring with rain, but now it looks like it's clearing up again, so maybe we'll go for a dog walk shortly. But I realised, of course, yesterday I abruptly ended telling you about my 2024 intentions. So I thought I would continue, and I hope this is not too repetitive from my 10 healthy habits video if you watched that. But then I appreciate that that video wasn't a vlog, so not everyone might have watched that video, but I would so highly recommend watching my 10 healthy habits video, because I go into a lot more detail in a few of these tips and also share the resources that I have been loving and learning from. I'm not going to do any makeup until later, just let my skin breathe today. I had like a couple of under skin blemishes, which I would like to be able to aerate. Anyway, so back to my 2024 intentions, and I'm sorry that they are split up from the beginning of the video. The next one is sticking with early to bed and early wake up, and I really want to be waking up between 5:30 and 6:30 a.m. every single morning. Normally Charlie and I set our alarm, our light bulbs to go off between 6 and 6:30, which means that they start glowing at 6 and then they're full brightness by 6:30, so we wake up naturally at some point between in that half-hour slot, and that works really well for us. I have always been a morning person. It does sometimes not work in my favour because like we can be going out for dinner and I will just get so tired. I have been known to fall asleep at the table before, which is embarrassing, but that's quite rare. And I love going for dinner at like 5 p.m. That for me is the dream. And then waking up early, because those early morning hours you really feel like you've kind of like got ahead of the day, you feel like you've got a head start. I love just having a bit of me time in the mornings and doing things that sometimes if you didn't wake up early you just wouldn't make the time to do. So yes, early mornings is another intention. This collar is just abnormally huge, isn't it? It's very big, it looks like a neck brace. I'm just wearing this outfit because of the fake tan. So it's quite nice and loose and tan coloured, so it works quite well. Anyway, next intention, and both of these are linked into some things that I mentioned in the healthy habits video, is to have a savoury breakfast every day, because I love a fruit smoothie, but it's not good for you to have a fruit smoothie for breakfast because of the glucose spike. Again, I spoke more about that in the healthy habits video, but I do also love a savoury breakfast, like a frittata, an omelette with some cheese, with some veggies in it. It's delicious and I really feel the benefits of that. I feel more energetic throughout the day, not so inclined to snack. So yeah, definitely want to stick with that. I also want to try to sticking with having just one coffee in the mornings and waiting as long as possible before I have that coffee, and then I would like my second caffeine hit of the day, if I feel that I need one, to be a matcha, as I briefly mentioned yesterday. Yeah, coffee first and then matcha after lunch if I do need another boost. I might try, I don't know if they will have matcha where we're going on our honeymoon. I'm sure they will. If they do, I might try just like completely switching to matcha for a little while. My next 2024 intention, and I started treating myself to this during Vlogmas, is to get a monthly reflexology appointment and a monthly hot stone massage. Just taking time for me. I adore both of those things, and I think it's just very important to look after your body. I was also listening to some podcasts on the importance of touch and how healing touch can be, and I just love how they feel. I think it's really important that we do these things for us, and yeah, I've been listening to interesting podcasts about the benefits of reflexology. I think it can have a lot of benefits both mentally and physically, and a hot stone massage just feels great. So why not? The next thing is really obvious. My 2024 intention diet wise is to cut out ultra processed foods and increase the amount of plants that I have in my diet. Really obvious. I feel like I don't need to talk about it that much in this video because it's something that I talk about a lot, and I think you guys know my feelings on ultra processed food. And then this was also the 10th tip in my 10 healthy habits video, but it is another intention as well for 2024, and that is just to keep on learning. Not necessarily always about health and fitness and nutrition and well-being, although that is probably my favorite topic to learn about because it's so applicable. But anything, I'm the kind of person that I find things interesting. Like if someone mentions, I don't know, I can't think of an example. Let's say how knitwear is made, or how, okay, that was really random, how clouds form, because I'm looking at clouds right now, then I want to know more. I will take a little subject and I will listen to podcasts about it, I'll read books about it. I just love knowledge and I love to learn about things. Sorry, I'm just really distracted because it's getting to be blue skies again, so I think we are going to head for a walk. So my final intention of 2024 is to keep learning. Keep on learning. When I'm just sat doing my makeup or cooking or I don't know, doing something mundane, gardening, I will always have something playing in the background that is slightly educational. So it'll probably most likely be a Dr. Rangan Chatterjee podcast or a Zoe podcast, even a Stephen Bartlett podcast, because they're just very fascinating to broaden your mind. So there we go. Anyway, blue sky alert, so I'm gonna head downstairs, make a quick breakfast, savoury breakfast, and then hopefully we'll head out into the fields for a little WALK. Okay, my darlings, in the kitchen, and we're gonna start doing breakfast in a second, but I thought something that I can do that'll take me 5 minutes to prep is our baked brie for later. So, is there anything better on a nibbly board than a baked brie? I will put this in when people start to eat. In the Aga, it'll take 10 minutes, maximum 15. The cheese that I'm using is Mont d'Or. We've also got a truffled brie in the fridge. I don't really think I need to add anything to that one, it's so delicious as it is. But this one I will do a little bit of prep. So I've got one of these Staub pans, which is perfect. And I'm going to put some baking paper just in the pan. And that will just help me with the, and that'll just really help me with the washing up. Oh, it smells so good. So this is the cheese, yummy, beautiful, soft cheese. First thing I'm going to do is quite deeply score it with a knife so that all of the yummy ingredients melt into the oozy, gooey cheese. So I've just scored a kind of diamond design onto it, and you can see when it's baking, it's really just gonna open up and reveal that delicious cheese inside. Pop that on there. Next thing I'm going to do is grate a clove of garlic and kind of smush that into the cheese. This is actually a pretty big garlic clove, so actually I'm just gonna leave it with half. This is a honey specific for baking. I'm gonna take a very generous teaspoon and drizzle that on top next. And some black pepper. Now, when I first bake this for about 10 minutes, I'm going to have it covered in foil. Then I will take the foil off and I will add a tablespoon of cranberry sauce. This one actually has port in it, yum. And I'm also just going to smash up a few little bits of walnut and I'll add those on top as well. But that doesn't need to be done until later. So that's all the prep I really need to do. Literally just a nice 5-minute easy job. Well, unfortunately the weather has taken a turn, so I think I'm mostly going to be canapé making this morning instead of dog walking. I'm going to do a maple pecan blue cheese stuffed date. So first of all, I'm gonna do some maple roasted pecans in the Aga. Literally just drizzling, and I'm going to bake these for about 5 minutes while I prepare the dates. Oops, that's a lot of maple syrup. Okay, so I've got my dates here, the ones without the stones. I'm going to cut them in half, add a little slice of delicious blue cheese. A little etiquette tip that you may not know about cheese: if this is the slice on the cheese board, the worst thing you can do is this and slice down here and take the middle bit for yourself, because the middle bit is actually the best bit of cheese and the creamiest. So if you've got cheese on the cheese board, you're meant to go down and take a slice this way instead of taking the nose of the cheese, because if you do this, then you're taking the best bit for yourself, whereas if you slice down that way, then everyone is getting equal amounts of the good blue cheese. Of course, it doesn't really matter here because it's going into the dates. So I'm gonna just create some little slices. Better just sample it, make sure it's okay. Delicious. And add a little bit of blue cheese into the middle of my dates, and then I'll pop them on the baking tray. These are only gonna bake for about 5 minutes later on this evening. Okay,
Okay, my darlings, here are the dates. Not sure how well you can see these, but dates with blue cheese inside and then maple roasted pecans on top. I'll pop these aside now and they can go in the oven for 5 or 10 minutes when everyone is eating. I've just made myself one here that I'm going to test now just because they look so delicious. And my leftover toasted maple pecans, I'm actually going to put these on top of the brie wheel that I made a second ago because I definitely don't want them to go to waste. Charlie has now taken over the kitchen to make our breakfast, and we are having an ultra healthy baked beans and fried egg on toast, right?
Yeah, so I mean you can make it as healthy or as unhealthy as you want. I think, to be honest, I've just kind of got used to doing it without a recipe. But ultimately, the beauty of making your own baked beans is you can control what's going into it.
Yeah.
And you can make it, as I say, as healthy or as unhealthy as you want. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use butter beans. And kidney beans, which are super high in protein. You could even put chickpeas in here. You could put the best actually tin is if you can get the organic 3-bean mix. Oh yeah. One can, it's got everything in.
Oh, we not got one of those in here. It's the black tin, isn't it?
Yeah, I just wanted to use up that. There was a particular one.
It looks a bit like this, but it's a 3-bean mix.
So those are going to go in. I like to mix it up with cherry tomatoes and chopped tomatoes.
Nice.
You start off with a base of onion and a little bit of garlic. And obviously sweat that down, remove the moisture, get a bit of caramelisation.
So you've got onion, garlic and olive oil in there.
Yeah. So your staples, which most people will have in your cupboard. Most people have these in their cupboard. Stick that in there. Then stick the tomato in there next. And then on top of the tomato, to add some flavour, smoked paprika.
Yeah.
You can there's loads of different recipes online. I like a bit of smoked paprika.
Yep.
A small amount of chili flakes if you don't want it too spicy.
Yeah.
Tiny bit of Liam Perrins. Now this isn't, there is lots in this. Do you know what? Actually, it's not that bad. Malt vinegar, spirit vinegar, molasses, sugar, salt, tamarind extract, onions, garlic, spice flavourings.
See, that's
no
actually...
artificial colours and preservatives.
That's actually nothing that we don't have in our kitchen, so that's not ultra processed.
But I'm only going to put a small dash of that in there.
Yeah.
And then this is pretty good. Just for a tiny bit of sweetness, you don't have to do this. I'm just going to put a bit of brown sauce in there.
Nice.
Then we're going to add the beans. We're going to cook it off. Really, from start to finish, this will take 20 minutes max.
But you could prepare this like hours in advance and let it simmer, right?
Well, so we're going to make enough that we can probably have a bit of leftovers that we can have tomorrow or the day after. Because it'll keep in the fridge for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And then you can elevate that on lots of different ways. So you could have it just on a nice piece of sourdough, bit of olive oil, no butter, and then just baked beans with a bit of coriander or parsley on top.
Grate some cheddar on top, put it under the grill.
We're going to have feta on top. I also like it with eggs for a bit more protein, so we're going to have fried eggs on top. We don't annoyingly have any coriander, but the other nice thing with it, if you want to elevate it, you've got friends over, and make it a little bit more upmarket, a bit posher, is you could do the baked beans on the toast with a bit of feta and some like coriander or parsley, and then some chunky guacamole on the side with lime juice and stuff, and it sort of works really well. I think that's a Jamie Oliver recipe. So
no, I think that's a Dalesford recipe, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because we learned how to do these beans at last year's Dalesford Cookery School, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I have made them before we even moved house. I made them when we lived in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but anyway, so these are going to go in now.
So I was saying earlier in this video my 2024 intentions, one of which to eat more plants and less ultra-processed food. So this meal is a mega tick because I bet Heinz baked beans would count as an ultra-processed food, right?
Oh, definitely. Like, there's virtually nothing good in Heinz baked beans. What is interesting is I bought these organic baked beans a long time ago. Yeah. I do really need to use them up. They were actually 2025, so it's ages. Let's have a look what's in these, because these are obviously meant... I mean, look, these are crazy as well.
What, unhealthy?
Well, I mean, you have a look at the number of ingredients on there. There's a hell of a lot of ingredients.
Whoa! Oh my gosh. White beans, water, tomato, sugar, salt,
it's the sugar that you get. So, if you think about it, this dish that we're making now, the only sugar really that's going in there is the brown sauce. And ours is an organic sort of Newt one, which is pretty much like this one from the Newt, honestly, is pretty much like something a grandma would make in her house. We could try and make our own brown sauce, but who has the time for that? So, what are my intentions this year? Intention number 1 I am genuinely going to try and not step foot in a supermarket. We will still have to buy toilet roll, kitchen roll, or in cleaning products like bleach for the toilets online, and probably through Ocado or someone.
Yeah.
But I am not going to step foot in a supermarket if I can try.
Whoa.
That doesn't include, though, and I'm happy to say this, the petrol stations, only because there are times when I'm on a road trip for work or something.
Yeah.
And if it's an M&S at a BP garage, well, I'm sorry, that's going to have to happen. Or at airports.
Yeah.
But in terms of actual supermarkets, I'm not going to step foot. And my intention is to, we love Dalesford, but to try and discover more local farm shops. So I've got a list of about 8 or 9 that are within sort of 15 minutes of us.
Yeah.
And we have had a lot of messages from people saying, oh, we don't have a farm shop near us. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate there are areas that don't. But I think you'll be surprised how many garden centres, like most people live near a garden centre. A lot of garden centres sell fresh produce.
Yeah.
It might not be organic, but it's still going to be better.
And if you live in the city, you can use Riverford, Oddbox, those kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, look, Riverford veg boxes are also not quite as expensive as you think. Riverford recipe boxes are a lot more expensive because you're paying for the convenience that they've put all the ingredients together. Abel and Cole, all these sort of things. So that's my main ones. And I'm trying to diverse diet. I think we both have made a lot of changes this year.
Yeah.
But my workouts, I'm now going to try and do more diverse workouts. So
Yeah.
by that I mean I'm not
Reformer
doing water all
Pilates.
the time. Yeah. Like no, but more like skier, sort of like stuff, just to keep testing my body.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's good for the mind. Same with the food, because you don't get bored of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to, out of interest, figure out how many plants we are having in this meal. So 2 different kinds of beans, that's 2. The paprika as a spice is 3. Garlic, onion, 4, 5. Chili flakes, 6. Yeah, 6 in...
Eggs? No.
not a plant. So we've got 6 different plants in this breakfast. If we were having it with an avocado, then we could add our seed mix. Any Tim Spector followers will probably also have a seed mix in their cupboard. This is a mixture, as you might be able to guess, of different seeds. We've got pumpkin, we've got linseed, we've got flax, we've got chia. Basically a huge mixture of different seeds that we just keep adding to. Shake it up. You can add that onto soups and onto avocado on toast, onto salads, onto your morning yogurt, and that if there are 8 different seeds in there, that's 8 of your plants for the week. So yeah, a great way to start your day with some diversity for the microbiome, isn't it, Betsy?
I think with making changes in New Year, so firstly, don't beat yourself up if you don't succeed. I mean, I'm now 33 years old, I've tried every fad. Every New Year I think I'm going to do something dramatic, and it never quite pans out as I hope, and I beat myself up about it, and then that can be really counterproductive. So I think don't, try and think of it like Q1, not just January. Do you know what I mean? Though, like try and make those changes. But what I would also say is do the easy stuff first.
Yeah.
It's a bit like on a to-do list. For me personally, okay, maybe with work chores I might look at it a different way, but in terms of like, tick off the easy bits, change your breakfast, do the seed mix, whole yogurt, make those small easy changes that you feel the benefit before you take on the big ones, like giving up alcohol or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like people often, and everyone's different, but people take on the big challenge and then don't succeed at that and then just give up altogether. Do you know what I mean?
A really good way of sticking to a habit as well that I was listening to is to attach it to another habit. So say for example you want to remember to take your supplements every morning, attach that to another habit that you already have, like your coffee habit. So for me, I take my supplements while the coffee machine is heating up, and every day I have coffee, so every day I have to wait for the coffee machine to heat up. So when that's happening is when I take my supplements. So by attaching a newer habit to an existing one, it means you stick to it.
And it becomes more achievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes total sense. And I think that's the thing. And I think we're inundated. I think both you and I are always conscious, like we're inundated this time of year with messages and different bits and pieces. And I think, there's a lot to be said for saying, actually, okay, in 2023, we did this well, let's just keep building on that. It doesn't have to be like this whole new thing.
Yeah.
You could say it's gimmicky, but my big thing is the supermarket thing is just because I've become really angry. The more I learn about how bad
they treat farmers.
They treat farmers, and also just in general, in people in general. Whereas, other stuff, I think we need to look at smaller things. What's your intentions, Dexy?
I'm not going to fight my brother as much, because I'm really
going to be
like
more
him.
caring of my brother. You're a pest.
And I'm going to wake up an hour earlier every morning, because I'm a slug. I'm a slug. And I've got my paws tucked in. Oh, Mummy, leave me alone. Let me go back to sleep. Okay, we've added the beans, and Charlie and I just did a little taste test, and it is delicious, so flavoursome. I did just have a little look online at the ingredients of Heinz baked beans. Not horrific, but they do contain sugar. So yeah, just better to make it yourself if you've got the time. And trust me, these are going to be so much more tasty. It's an entire cherry tomato there.
If the people that have children and stuff that are making this,
make it on batch.
Well, what you could do, because like even half an hour making breakfast for some people is a lot of time when they're busy with children. You could make this the night before, and you don't want to go overkill. But to be honest, this is a really good base for a really hearty soup. You could add leeks and stuff like this to this, or for like a chili con carne. You know, in terms of adding mincemeat or things like that.
Lasagna.
So it's quite a versatile thing to make.
Yeah.
And something that's just quite different, really, because we do eat a lot of scrambled eggs on toast, a lot of...
Yeah, I wasn't feeling like that this morning.
Avocado's a weird one, right, because it's always going to be imported. So I kind of feel like I want this year to be the year that I treat that as more of a treat. Not, to be honest, we've been good. We don't buy a lot of avocado.
No,
they're not in the
we
farm
have it
shops
when
we go
we're
to.
out.
Yeah, I think Dalesford's the only farm shop that sell them.
Yeah.
And
That's what Diddley Squat got in trouble for, wasn't it?
yeah, but that's because their agreement, Diddley Squat, was to sell things that were local.
All right.
And of course, Jeremy Clarkson pushed the boundaries as he always will. But yeah, I think that's the thing, and it's just trying to be a bit more interesting and elevated. The other thing you could, of course, do is treat this like a shakshuka. Do it in more of a pan like this. Crack the eggs into it and stick it in the oven. So you bake the whole thing, and that would be more of a showstopper. And then you could put that on the table and do the toast. Unless there's, say, 4 of you, you could all just tuck into it.
You could do individual shakshukas with some of that and a fried egg in one of them. Yeah, that would be a lot of washing up. Right, I'm going to have some grated cheddar grilled on top of mine, and Charlie's going to be a little bit healthier with the feta. And while we're talking about 2024 intentions, we're both still very much loving our wild nutrition. What supplements are you taking, darling?
So I have, it looks like a lot, but I always take vitamin B12 this time of year. Obviously I do eat a lot of eggs, so I do get vitamin B12, but I just think 1 capsule a day, it's something we're a lot of us short of, it helps with energy. I never know how to say this. Ashwagandha. This I have been taking since we lived in London from Wild Nutrition, and this was the product I bought from Wild Nutrition and introduced you to the brand, because you've not heard of it. Obviously now we work with them a lot, because they're one of the best for this product, because it's imported, I don't know where it's from. Ashwagandha, but it really helps with energy. So I think actually out of all of them, as a man certainly, I read online it can help with testosterone, it can help if you're going through things like cancer treatment, stuff like that. It really helps with energy levels. Yeah. I think it's also good for women.
Yeah, it is.
I lose track of all the properties, but I've been taking that for a long time. Yeah. And I take Iron Plus. Now this year we're going to do our Zoe kits finally, and I'm just going to move this slightly, and we're going to have our bloods done. Now, I'm not sure I actually need to take this. I take it because I know that a lot of people are low in iron, and iron is really important for a lot of things. But I'm hoping when we have our blood test that it says I have no issues, and therefore I probably will stop taking this.
Your sister said that when she gave blood, they kind of gave her a free analysis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Vitamin D I was taking. Because of this time of year, so I wouldn't normally take. Normally, I'd have 3 that I take, and that's it. But I added vitamin D because of the time of year. I just think we're not getting any vitamin D really, because it's in a few vegetables and fruits, I think, and some meats maybe. Magnesium I take if I'm not sleeping very well. I don't take it every night, but it's quite a good one to take before dinner if you're not sleeping very well. And then actually this is what I've added, which is why I'm not taking vitamin D at the moment, because this contains vitamin D, which is why you do need to read the ingredients so you don't overdose. Yeah. So I've stopped taking that. I'm taking this now, which is fertility support, which is because, who knows, in the next year or 2, it's part of the plan. I just thought, well, it's one I noticed that they had. Yeah. And I thought, well, why not try it?
Yeah, they kind of specialise in fertility and pregnancy and
Yeah.
even children's, don't they? They've got the they've got children's range, don't they?
Yeah. So I mean, look, I'll always be honest. I can't wholeheartedly say that those vitamins make an instant difference, but what I will say is I've felt a lot better since having a more of a routine. And I think there is a placebo effect as well, which people will dismiss, but I think anything in life, if there's a placebo effect that has a positive effect by you doing something and you feel good after doing it, keep bloody doing it because it's working.
And similarly to foods that we eat, we're conscious as to the ingredients in our supplements. And Wild Nutrition is all food grown, so it's all real ingredients, which means that our body actually knows what to do with it, as opposed to just weeing it out again.
That's the thing, we can save it for another time, but I can tell you, I used to take a more mainstream, cheaper brand.
Yeah.
And looking back, I used to get a lot of upset tummies.
Yeah.
And I think it's the coating and what was on the capsules. So it's not even just what's in the capsule, it's what is the capsule.
Yeah.
And I think some of those cheaper brands...
And just to say, at this time of year, a lot of people are going to be promoting supplements.
Yeah.
Again, check the ingredients. Gummies, 90% of the time, are a no, because they've got so much crap in them.
For you, probably, if it's intimate. But I think also, you know, we work with Wild Nutrition. It works for us. It's not going to work for everyone. I would get, if you can get your bloods done, if you can do a Zoe test or something like that, that'd be brilliant. But just work out what you're low in before you start taking stuff. Yeah. That's what I almost regret. And as I say, I've been taking things that I think...
You don't take omegas, by the way?
No, but I eat a lot of eggs. I have eggs every other day, 4 or 5 eggs every other day, full of omega. And also a lot of nuts. And we eat fish. So I don't think I need omega, but equally... This is going to be the year, maybe that is the intention, that we start looking at the actual stats. You and I have made a lot of dietary changes in the last 24 months. So let's now see what our body's telling us. Yeah. And then make changes based on that, rather than all of us saying, my tummy's a bit bloated after eating bread. I must be gluten intolerant. No, it's probably the crap bread, or it is that you haven't had bread in ages. So definitely get the test to tell you that you're gluten intolerant before you start eating the gluten-free stuff, which is actually way worse for you. And if you are gluten intolerant, that sucks, and then you're going to have to embrace those gluten intolerant, the gluten-free things. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping this is the year that people see through all the marketing bullshit of like, here you go, vegans, here's bacon for you, and it's like terrible. It's a terrible product. Vegan bacon. If you're a vegan, kudos to you. We're going to try and eat less meat increasingly, but don't go and you've given up meat. There's so many amazing plants to eat. Don't go and buy a substitute that is dreadful. You know? Yeah.
Very true. And before I forget, we've got a 20% discount code for Wild Nutrition, which is Wild Josie, because we do work with them. So I'll leave that link down below. Right, I'm going to leave this one to keep cooking.
You know what I want to work with this year?
Who?
Is oh god, I've forgotten what they're called.
Clarence Court.
Not Clarence. Well, I like Clarence Court, and these are actually not Dalesford eggs. I swapped them round because of Christmas. These are from what are they called? No.
Cacklebean.
Cacklebean. I'd love to work with Cacklebean. So these are Cacklebean eggs, and look, you can tell. So the one thing I'd say about Clarence Court is they're all this colour. Cacklebean are much more of a variety of colours.
Yeah, and sizes.
And that often suggests that they're just let to eat lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas the orange yolk is normally actually just because they're fed corn.
Orange, yeah. Right. You're my favourite gremlins. Little fat one.
Come on.
don't really know how to navigate around this puddle. Daddy, don't take the piddle.
Oh, lovely.
Come on, wee wee. I'm not sure what to do here, Daddy. Oh, I'm really enjoying it now. Oh. Home again, and this is how the kitchen garden looks on the last day of the year. Very bleak. It'll only be a few months until we're busy planting out my dahlias and everything. But yeah, at the moment, not the best time of year, in fact, the worst for the kitchen garden. What do you think, Dixie? Her bed's still doing quite well. I'll take in some rosemary and some thyme for the canapes later. Still got some chicory doing quite well over here. Could do some nice chicory with walnut and bread croutons. That'd be quite nice. Lovely. Charlie is just investigating the trees somewhere. Where is he? Down there. And actually, considering we're at the very, very end of December, this border is not looking too sad. I think this is the first blue sky we've seen in well over a week. Might actually make a coffee and just sit outside, make the most of it. Haven't had as much fresh air as I'd like to the last few days. My darlings, looking just a touch more glam than the last time I saw you, which I think was in a field with no makeup on, covered in mud. So it's just approaching 7 p.m. now. Our guests should be arriving from about 7:30. So I have got into my beautiful dress. This is from the brand new Needle and Thread collection. It's just absolutely divine. I have got the most angelic, beautiful sleeves. It's got the most stunning kind of star glitter pattern on it. I just absolutely love it so much. It is their full lengths. Do they call them the gowns? I think they do call them gowns. And I have literally just taken my hair out of the pins from using my Dyson Airwrap. I probably will end up just kind of clipping it somewhere so that it's out of the way. I've got this stunning pair of earrings to wear from Santini, who you may recall from their beautiful coats. I keep seeing Freddie in one of their ads on my Instagram Explore page, and she looks amazing, and that coat is well and truly on my wish list. And yeah, they do jewelry too, so oh, helps if you take your old earrings off first. Doris. Someone asked in a vlog who Doris is. It's just always the name that I use when me or someone else is being a bit of a plonker, then they're being a Doris. Wow, the hair is huge. Oh my gosh, they are so pretty. Look at that. They're just these gorgeous little bows with a hanging gemstone. I wish I could just rely on my hair to behave and leave it down, but it just really doesn't. So yeah, I think I will just do a little bit of a clip at the top. I do just get the most amazing volume when I do the Dyson Airwrap, but yeah, my hair's just super unpredictable, so I can't just leave it down, unfortunately. But there we go. This is my outfit of the evening. I have also got on my, ooh, so many layers. Dior, you see, Dior heels, which are just gorgeous, and then I think I'll grab a couple of nice rings to pop on as well, but there we go. I'm going to finish getting our little nibbly bites table ready, full of yummy treats, and then before too long our guests will start to arrive. Okay, so the cocktails are lined up, ready to go. Charlie is egg washing our sausage, what's it called?
Sausage wreath.
Sausage wreath.
We didn't make it.
No, Lodge Farm made it, and they are based in Ross NY, which is my hometown. We've got crisps and nuts here, and then the main feast in the dining room. Ooh, I can maybe show you full length a little bit better from over here. It's a really gorgeous length.
This is so apt. It's NYE. Timber! That's me later. Oh, now we're out of focus. Yeah. NYE. We are freezing. Rosy grace.
Wondering who's been behind the camera this evening. It's been Mildred. What are your top tips for aspiring vloggers then, Millie? Be yourself.
Act natural.
Yeah, like this.
What's that? What are you looking for?
It's her husband.
Carry on, darling.
Don't bring your husband with you. He puts you off your game.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got a nice velvet blazer on tonight.
Looking very dapper. Oh, the elusive George Irons on camera.
I think he might be
Not George!
What I'm going to do there.
We have a dog here in his natural habitat, chilling on Josephine's floor. Well, aren't you just a little angel? Wow. He went to cute. Oh, another one that's cute. Oh my gosh. Hi, my name's Millie and I am the Pied Piper of doggies. Yes.
Change of scene, a bit of FIFA. I've just played Charlie at FIFA.
Did you beat him?
He beat me on penalties.
He beat you on
penalties?
Yeah. It's Charlie's.
It was 0-0 after 90
Hands
minutes.
shaken and made.
David Beckham got chickens.
Yes.
Christmas. I
Very
followed
cool.
Victoria on Instagram and
We'll get chickens if we can buy one of the fields around us. I don't want them in my garden, but I'd love to have.
He is living the dream.
I'm up for it. Yeah, I'll be well up for it. I'll be well up for it. You don't have to register anything.
You're having the best time.
Yeah.
I don't know how you think of content every day though, it's exhausting. Right. Is it any era? Would it be fictional?
that most people have to heard of them.
Yeah, you need at least more than like 25% of the room needs to know who they are. So it can't be so vague that.
What on earth is going on here?
I need to go.
Yeah, it's...
What's really hard about this blogging nonsense is
knowing where to look.
yeah, where do you look?
You look at the lens, darling.
Yeah, but that is
You just look in the direction of the lens.
So we're playing a game. So do you know you have to look down there? Where? In that? Yeah.
right.
So look, it looks like I'm looking up. You have to look in that.
Yeah, of course, it's obvious. That's where the actual...
Yeah, we filmed the nice fire. Oh,
I hope I'm not going to be on this footage.
yes, we are. My nostrils are making a large appearance.
So if it's David Beckham, you could say first name same as Cameron, second name same as Victoria.
Okay.
Rhymes with.
No.
You can't do rhymes with, you can't do sounds like.
And
So
you
you can't
can't
go
say
rhymes
sounds
with
with
David Deckham. David Deckham.
So if you and me go first,
Yeah,
to our
I'll go
various
first, mate.
teams,
I'll set the pace for you, yeah.
then you'll get it. Alright, so
Wait,
get
so is it like
I feel like this is an irons game.
Yeah.
That he's got you lot have got it down, haven't you?
Can't wait for him to lose.
Charlie's annoying.
I wonder why we're playing that game then.
Yeah, we're a team.
Not playing
So
with
you'll
you.
get it, right? Alright.
we are not to say anything.
Yes.
Should we tell? Oh right, okay. When we
Charlie, you're not it.
Yeah, we're
This is. Okay, the first name, if you've got abs, you've got a, and you might have six.
Two packs to
Six
call.
pack.
Yep, that's the one. Okay,
was
she's
his
got
one,
a really
wasn't
big booty, and she's
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. She is the mother of Kate, who is
Carol Middleton.
Yes.
That's what you put in.
She likes to shake it up, shake it up. Yep. He's a footballer. And
Wayne
he's-
Rooney.
Yes. He was a
know,
prime
I
minister,
know.
lives in the Cotswolds. And
David Cameron.
Yep. He has a cake in Marks and Spencer.
Damn it, she got 6. They're one in the lead.
Who made a cake in Marks and Spencer's?
There was a risk of
Oh,
that.
who was that?
Heston Blumenthal.
Colin the caterpillar. Colin the caterpillar. It's just what Aldi sued.
Someone put Colin the Caterpillar in as actor does Equalizer.
Thanks so much. I'm doing this not because I'm focusing on the look.
Surprise, surprise.
Still black.
Ah, yes! Rest in
Hang on,
peace.
shuffling here. Formula 1 driver in a coma.
Lewis Hamilton. Oh, Michael Schumacher.
With Harry. With the
Meghan
Royals.
Markle.
stop,
Disgraceful.
stop.
Very good.
I
Very
think I threw some in the bowl.
Don't, look, just don't be nervous.
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready, guys? Yeah.
It's only a camera who plays.
Go.
Oh dear.
Oh gosh. Oh, Dalesford.
Caroline,
Lady.
there needs a bit of
Yeah.
Bamford, yeah.
Prime Minister Whitney Cotswolds.
David
Prime
Cameron.
Minister, yeah. Tesla founder.
Elon Musk.
Not founder, but there we go. Harry's female friend, which
Meghan
Harry's female friend.
went to Hogwarts.
Oh, Hermione Granger.
Surprise, surprise.
Cilla Black.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of sellers.
That was still good.
That was solid.
Five is reasonable score.
Who's Cilla Black?
Oh, male singer dated Britney.
Justin Bieber. No, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
I'm not looking.
Oh, yellow car, kids car. Brom.
Yes!
Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
Ginger.
Prince Harry.
Oh, baby,
Justin Bieber. Another one.
No, this is not okay. This is corruption.
Floppy Prime Minister hair.
Boris Johnson.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Skip.
Slytherin.
Stop.
Draco Malfoy.
No, it doesn't count.
What do we do?
Put it back in.
Skip should go back in.
George, say hello to your fans.
Used to be married to Kanye West.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Oh, great one.
Dump it and run.
You're doing very well.
Okay, New Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yes.
Yes! Yes!
That's the one I couldn't get.
Played by. Okay, new movie, Pink.
Barbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yes, Michael.
Yes.
Used to be married to Kim Kardashian.
Kanye West.
Another one?
Whoa!
Back at you.
Wow, shot 4. Yes, B.
Sam Smith.
Yeah, thank you. She was in Friends. She was married.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, thank
Nice.
Simba. Simba.
Yeah. I think oh, he's got really orange face. He's American president.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hollywood film, Psycho Killer. The guy was in Speed back in the day, long black hair. He's a killer, he's an assassin.
John Wick.
Exactly.
Damn it,
Celebrity sex tape.
Paris Hilton.
Yep.
It bought some time though. It did.
And
Stop.
Guys.
7 goals.
Oh god. We have a
Who's that?
spare
Who got
camera. Someone would think she does this for a
she
living.
has 7 cameras on
Steal
the
my
wall.
joke.
Oh yeah.
I'm stealing all of your jokes. Oh my god, I don't. People just don't want to see my nostrils the whole time.
Right. So this round, you're only allowed to use 3 words. Once you've said your 3 words, you're done.
Oh, God.
You can still
just
skip.
3 words?
But you can only skip before
Can we
you've
get
said
a longer
the 3
time?
words.
No.
But it's the same names we already know.
But remember, it is all the names that we've had before.
Ivy, walking, tiptoes.
Denzel.
Oh my god.
It's too hard.
Oh no.
You're upsetting Dex.
Yes. I get that.
Hermione Granger.
Margaret Thatcher.
Tony Blair. Boris Johnson. Debbie Cameron.
Donald Trump. Oh.
Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian.
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner.
Taylor Swift.
Jimmy Savile.
Justin Bieber. Taylor Swift. Kanye West. Eminem. Rory.
Oh my god.
A man.
Jesus Christ. What is
that noise?
That's not fair. Well, she gets a meter, she gets extensions.
Right.
Barbie.
What was that last one?
Who was it?
It was Justin Timberlake. I was trying to be the
yeah.
singer.
Oh, Timberlake.
You said Justin Timberlake, didn't you?
I thought it said
No,
Bieber.
Oh, Bieber.
Well done.
Sorry.
Right?
You did well, JC. It's not easy.
Charlie.
Listen, the fart noises.
Charlie, can I have your phone a second? Oh, I love Reacher. That is my
Should
kind
be
of.
called Reach Around.
That is my kind of man.
Right, we're on the BBC, don't we?
I think so. Where should I? Oh, that's a nice antique. Look how nice this antique is. Right, so guys, it's going to be over and out from the Millie vlog. So we're going to do tripod.